Do you know that South America hosts an important number of fifth freedom flights? And in today's episode, we're flying one of them between Santiago de Chile and Buenos Aires. We are not flying on a normal low-cost A320, but on a long-haul Boeing 787 Dreamliner operated by KLM, the famous Dutch carrier. Yes, you heard that right. European service and wide-body plane on a 90 minutes haul. We also came to the airport with an economy ticket and ended up flying business class. But was the overall experience good? Not so much. Pardon? Do you want to know why? Then stay tuned and come aboard because this is the last boarding call. Our flight day started a day after I finished my work commitments in Santiago. That morning, we drove our rental car to the airport and we were lucky to be spared from Santiago's morning traffic. A quick ride to Arturo Merino Benitez Airport got us 2.5 hours before departure. I drove to the car rental return area of the airport and our landside pain started. Here is the car rental area and waiting for the bus for almost 25 minutes. See, that's the terminal up there. I think I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk to the terminal. After waiting and helplessly watching the minutes go by with no transport in sight, a group of us decided to take justice on our hands and walk the almost 1 kilometer distance to the terminal, and I didn't regret it at all. Santiago's Arturo Merino Benitez International Airport is Chile's largest and busiest airport, and one of the busiest in Latin America in terms of passenger movement and connectivity. A whopping 20 million passengers used the airport last year. The airport serves as a hub for LATAM and some other low-cost carriers of the region, and it's the only airport in Latin America with services to Oceania. The airport saw a major renovation that completed in 2021, adding a stunning new international terminal with modern architecture, expanded gates, and upgraded lounges. The airport is a key gateway to South America and hosts one of these curious fifth freedom flights. A fifth freedom flight is when an airline from one country flies between two other countries as part of a longer route. In this particular flight, KLM, which is a Dutch airline, is flying from Santiago to Buenos Aires on its way to or from Amsterdam. The term comes from the Freedoms of the Air, a set of aviation rights agreed upon in the 1944 Chicago Convention and enforced by ICAO, the International Civil Aviation Organization. The fifth freedom specifically allows airlines to pick up and drop off passengers between two foreign countries as long as it's linked to a service to or from the airline's home country. It creates more flight options and sometimes better prices for travelers. And best price was the reason why I picked this flight up. We had an economy class ticket that I bought a few weeks before the trip, and since KLM is part of SkyTeam, an alliance which I don't have any status membership with, I wasn't expecting any frequent traveler perks. We queued in the long economy line and were directed to one of the self-check-in kiosks. And boy, they were buggy and faulty. Look at the suffering. The automated check-in kiosk that we got, it's crap. We had a glimpse of hope when my travel partner got checked in, but still wasn't working for me. We jumped to not one but two different machines and still same issues. It was funny, but after 2 failed attempts to check myself in, the second kiosk decided to take the day off. This is the third kiosk we use. The third one. Let's try again. Let's follow the procedures. Put ID card. We are following exactly as it says. Setting the destination. One booking code. Finally, after almost 30 minutes of battling against them, someone came to the rescue and made us advance to the baggage drop area and asked the agent there to check me in. Then look at this funny system to drop the bags off at these counters. Definitely an unintended workout. Tire su equipaje de la balanza. Coloque su equipaje. After our daily exercise placing and removing every single bag twice from the baggage drop belt, we were advised that our carry-on baggage exceeded the 12-kilogram allowance for the flight, and we needed to pay $70 per. O sea, lo que no entiendo es por qué tiene que ver la mochila dentro de eso. Esa parte no la entiendo.
Si quiere, señor.
Sí, por favor.
Cuando usted compra el boleto, viene incluido un equipaje de mano y un accesorio. Entre los dos no pueden pesar más de 12 kilos. Es el equipaje y el accesorio. Entre los dos, no más de 12 kilos. Como en este caso, ambos lo superaron, deja de ser equipaje de mano. Igual van a Buenos Aires, déjenme solo revisar una cosa, si queda lugar en premio. Ahí queda lugar.
Okay.
¿Le interesa porque vale más barato que pagar la...
The check-in agent suggested us to pay for a premium economy upgrade of $50 instead of the baggage fee of $70, which sounded good enough. However, unfortunately for us, and conveniently for the airline, there was no room in premium economy in this flight.
Ok, gracias, no queda más.
¿Perdón?
No, me dice que no queda más lugar.
Ay, qué conveniente. Toca pagar 70 entonces, ¿no? Next option, business class for $120. The agent hesitated, and so did my travel partner. However, in my defense, by that moment, I was mentally and physically exhausted. After a week of hard work in Santiago, I considered that $50 for a 90 minutes business upgrade was worthwhile. My rationale was that essentially, we either had to pay $70 because of the now not allowed carry-on bag, we just forked an extra $50 and got live flat seat, nicer food, lounge access, and most importantly, a nice story to write. We finally left all our baggage as well as the argument about fees and wait behind, and went to immigration and security check to go airside. By this time, we only had almost an hour and a half to board, and something worth noting about Santiago Airport is that immigration lines are super busy at all times. I fly through Santiago often, and I've seen these lines full at every single time of day, and today is no exception. Thankfully, security checks are more expedited than migration, and in no time we were looking for the SkyTeam Pacific Lounge that is located close to the assigned gate to our flight today. We showed up at SkyTeam Lounge and got our boarding passes scanned without any issue. Surprisingly, the lounge wasn't very busy. I would have expected to see it a bit more busy considering that the flight had their 24 premium economy seats taken. Isn't that right? The lounge has a nice view of the tarmac, and in there I could spot this rare visitor today in Santiago. This A320 here, without any airline identification, only an identification from the country of Malta, turned out to be a leasing plane from Gallister Infinite Aviation. This company is a plane wet lessor that provides aircraft to other airlines. Wet lease is a term used in aviation to define when an airline rents a plane with crew, maintenance, and insurance included. Gallister is a European company, and if we see the interesting journey of this plane, we could see that it has been jumping from Europe to South America in 3 or 4 hour hops, and today is based here in Santiago in what I could guess it's either a charter flight or a backfill for an airline. I turned out my attention from the unexpected Santiago visitor and went to have a round through the lounge, and then got told to stop recording, which I quickly complied. It was funny thought because the same lounge employee that asked me to stop recording was the same one who checked me in at lounge entrance and saw me with the camera filming the tarmac. I asked her if we could have a look at the lounge rules that are published right at the lounge entrance and to point me where does it say that filming is not allowed, because I obviously couldn't find it. Then she said that I could film outside but not inside, but at that time it was time to go to our gate. But to sum up my experience in the Sky Lounge, and I politely ask you guys to rely in my word, mostly because I don't have video evidence, is that we were lucky of having a relatively empty lounge. Seating options were aplenty, and the lounge has a terrific view of the tarmac. However, food-wise, it's not particularly Christmas there. The selection is quite limited with only a few cold meal options, breads and sweets. No warm meals, and on the drink side, I only saw soft drinks, coffee, tea and water. Probably that was why they didn't need to film the buffet. Let me know what you think in the comments below. It was boarding time for us as we were walking to the gate. We boarded in the priority section heading to our Dreamliner business class experience with a somehow bitter taste of the service KLM provided for us on the ground. I think that the whole self-service kiosk strategy is as good as those machines work spotlessly. You cannot simply cut corners by implementing them and forego human agents if those systems will be buggy and unreliable. Also, although the check-in agent was right about the weight of the carry-on baggage, her attitude was overly strict, or, how my kids say, try harder. A more customer-friendly approach might have been to offer to gate check our bags, something I've seen other airlines do. Maybe I'm being a bit self-entitled, but that has happened hundreds of times before. Airlines offer passengers to check their carry-on for free even at the gate. I'd like to know your comments. What do you think about it? But now, let's leave the ground experience behind and focus on the flight. Let's have a look to our house in the sky for the next 90 minutes. Our ride for today is this 8-year-old 787-900, which was delivered from Boeing right to KLM in 2017. During the last week, this beautiful and reliable bird have been commuting from Amsterdam to Beijing, Kuala Lumpur, Rio and Santiago, Buenos Aires with a great punctuality rate. Today, we are occupying 2 of its 28 business class seats, and soon we'll be flying above the Andes, heading to Ezeiza Airport. As you would expect, the seat for this short flight will not be presented with the full kit. There's no blanket or amenity kit. However, we were given a welcome drink selection of water or juice, and the meals and drinks options in the flight were surprisingly good just by looking at the menu. This 787 seat for business class is very nice because it feels very roomy. The TV screen is foldable one, kind of uncomfortable I would say, and it needs to be obviously folded for takeoff and landing, takeoff, taxi and landing. We've got the literature pocket with the safety instructions on board. Also we've got universal power port and also USB-A power here. We've got the remote control for the entertainment system, iPad style remote control. Also jack for the headphones. And in the storage space, we've got a mirror. We've got noise cancelling headphones. Very nice, and this is very roomy. This compartment here is quite roomy. I like it. The table. Let's unfold the table. Bifold. No cup holder though. We've got the seat controls in here. Lie flat and normal seat. Light. Fit light in here. Turn on. Turn off. And we've got another lighting here, and we have the 6-point headrest. It doesn't go up and down, it just goes around your neck. Seat presentation was very good. We pushed back fairly on time, less than 10 minutes after our scheduled departure time. I will apologize for the low quality shots since my seat was in the middle of the plane. We taxied to runway 17 left of Santiago Airport and departed heading south to Buenos Aires. Crossing the impressive Andes range to approach Buenos Aires from the west. Almost 10 minutes after takeoff, the seatbelt light was switched off. I took the time to go to the lavatory to check it out. The lavatory, obviously one of both located at the front of the plane and reserved only for business class passengers, was impeccable. It felt super spacious, and it was decorated with Dutch imagery, giving it a very nice touch. It was clean as a whistle, no sticky floor nor smelly. I could notice designer brand amenities and the usual features of a lavatory such as coat hanger, baby change facilities, and touchless space. Maybe I was the first occupant of the lavatory, hence I was in luck, but overall I can say this was a good presentation. When I returned to my seat, crew was already doing the meal service. Look at this delicious dish we were served. Boy, it was delicious, shrimp tartar and mango salad, and lemon merengue tartlet, white bread, real cutlery, and I had a Coke for drink. Cheers. I must say I enjoyed every single bite of that meal, and although I didn't the dessert, it was because of my personal choice. My travel partner felt bad for me because she said it tasted like heaven. The crew on board the flight made me put behind the way I felt I was treated by ground staff. They were super nice and friendly. They gave this nice present to all passengers in business class. That's a shot of Bowls, a famous cocktail brand from Amsterdam. It made me sad that I'm not flying this leg straight to Schiphol. Trying to capture the landing from my seat was mission impossible, but enough to say that we landed 15 minutes prior to our scheduled landing time. And while we are disembarking in Ezeiza Airport, I would like to invite you guys to subscribe to my channel. 3 out of 4 viewers of my videos are not subscribed, so I really wanted to ask for your support and hit the subscribe button. If you made it this far, you clearly love travel stories, so why not support the channel? Hit like, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It's just take 2 seconds and provides heaps of support to my channel. Incoming immigration in Ezeiza Airport was super smooth and friendly, almost no lines, and we were picking up our beloved and contested bags in no time, and went to arrivals ground site super quickly. I'm traveling to Buenos Aires for work, and Ezeiza Airport, the bigger and most well-connected airport of the metropolis, is quite far from the city center. We had an Airbnb in Palermo area, so we Ubered ourselves there. Our days in Buenos Aires were amazing. Albeit for work, we had time in the evenings to get to know the city, its charm, and undoubtedly warm people. We loved the architecture, the iconic places such Plaza de Mayo, the Obelisk, and Caminito. We really loved Buenos Aires, and we are eager to come back whenever we had the chance. And while we enjoy this drone shot of Avenida 9 de Julio, I'd like to thank you for viewing, and we'll see you in our next adventure. Safe travels everyone, and bye!